Can I help you?
Yes, we were told to meet Samantha
Yeah,
Weiland.
but you can't have that on in here.
Sorry.
Is it off?
I've lived here most of my life. There's memories here, bad memories. History's heavy here. It's real heavy.
All right, welcome to the program, Pedro, Brittany, and E.J. How you guys doing?
Doing
Good,
great.
good.
Excited to
Feeling
be
strong, sleepy, so sleepy.
I hear you. I'm a bit sleepy myself. Of course, In Our Blood is hitting theaters on October 24th. Pedro, for people who haven't heard about the film yet, what is it all about?
Well, In Our Blood tells the story of Emily Wyland, played by the amazing and incredible Brittany O'Grady. And she is on the road with the amazing cinematographer Danny, played by our incredible E.J. Bonilla. And they are going to reconnect with Emily's mom, who they've been the, estranged for over a decade. And they reconnect, and Emily's mom, played by the extraordinary Alana Ubach.
Oh,
And the day after, that they reconnect for over Thanksgiving, Emily's really trying to process that and trying to make a doc. She's a young documentary filmmaker, something that I know a little bit about. And the next day after Thanksgiving, her mom disappears. And what was going to be a documentary about a family reconnection becomes a desperate search and leads to a lot of twists and turns. And it gets much, much gnarlier than that. So that's a little bit of taste about In Our Blood.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely gets much gnarlier than that. Totally. And I like how you say, yeah, you have a little bit of experience in documentary filmmaking, of course. And this film, has the cinema verite kind of documentary style. And then genre elements kind of creep into the film. Now, of course, you're right at home with the verite elements, but do you feel any trepidation working on your first kind of more genre entertainment as it kind of creeped into the story?
At first, I did. It definitely it scared me a little bit. It gave me the chills, but I think I was, in a way, I've made sure I surrounded myself with extraordinary collaborators. And first of all, the amazing writer Mallory Westfall, who has written for Fear the Walking Dead, and a lot of other Chucky and a lot of extraordinary genre film shows and films. And our amazing producers and cast and all the heads of department. And the thing is, like, I'm a genre fan. I've always loved it since I was a young child. And so that's definitely, and it in a way. What I love about the genre space is that it's kind of a hypercharged, supercharged way to look at our world. And this film is very much still a reflection. It's like I would see very much a continuation of my documentary work that is really reflecting the world that we live in. And sometimes that world that we live in is a very scary um, world, and to a lot of people. And I think that in a way it just enhances the way that we look at ourselves.
No, definitely on that. And there's a lot of layers to this film. And Brittany, there's a lot of layers to your character. And there's certain points of the film, I feel like there's almost like a Usual Suspects Kaiser Sose moment for this character. When it came to putting the character together, you had to approach it with not only, how the character would be perceived in the scene, but then what the character would also be feeling in that moment after things are revealed later in the film. So a lot of stuff going on, like especially watching like tiny moments like the saltine cracker takes on a whole new meaning.
Oh,
Like
oh, you caught on to
yeah,
that. Oh,
yeah. It's like
good.
I was like, wait a second, yeah. And so I heard you talk about it like that you had to prepare like three journeys in your head for this character. What was it like to put together the process for this character?
It was very deep. And it wasn't a process that I did alone. It was something that I did with each and every department, each and every actor. I did it with Pedro. I did it with the producers because Pedro and the producers have been a part of this story for 10 years, and Mallory. Um, and so it was a process that we all collaborated on. I mean, we had our amazing costume designer, Kaylee, come up with things that, Emily was attached to. I almost gave something away. But, little things that just really, there's little odes like the cracker and like her costume, even to her costume and the cinematography and the lighting was very specific to reflecting what and who Emily was. And then even impacting her relationship with like the people around her. And that was something that EJ and I talked about a lot. And so that was something that I thought was so brilliantly done. And it was just constant discussion, constant collaboration. And I just get emotional thinking about it because it was one of the biggest honors. And this is a project that's so near and dear to my heart, and I've never felt more connected to a character before. And that is really because, I mean, when I met Pedro, he really sees people. The first thing he
Mm.
says is he sees the unseen. And so he can really dig into the depths of the human soul. And I think that's why he's just an incredible, you know, director and documentarian and just and so that really just shaped this character. I don't I that it's really it had to do with just the foundation of the team that really helped me with that. So it was like having it didn't feel like three different stories in my head. I felt like this person. Um Backstory, all that stuff. We did all that work, all of us together. Long-winded, but thank you for listening.
Oh, that's amazing.
Brilliant,
Again, like
brilliant.
again, especially for an actor, it's a meaty part to sink your teeth into totally. And EJ, your part, of course, you get to be the voice of the audience as Danny. You get to like when something happens and the audience goes, "What the fuck was that?"
Oh
Danny
yeah,
gets to go, "What the fuck was that?" But
that was my favorite part. I
yeah.
just like I can say fuck again. You guys are sure. Well, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking enjoy it. I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
But also like with your character though, there's a never really like majorly touched upon, well, like it is just touched upon. It's never really dug deep into is that there is a darkness in Danny's past. And
mm.
so when you were preparing that character, did you have to figure out how to find that darkness for yourself to then put under this very entertaining character?
Mhm.
That's a great question. I love that uh, Emily and Danny have that in common. That there is a past that does not necessarily define who they are. And in their own ways, I think they're both sort of pushing through that, right? But to piggyback on what Brittany said about Pedro, he's an amazing director, truly. Pedro and I sat at a local pub, bar, restaurant place in New Mexico like a day or two before shooting. And I just really needed his ear. I just wanted to make sure that he and I are on the same page. I feel like if you and your director are here, then you have a shorthand when you're filming, especially within the indie film. You don't have a lot of time, and whatever you can do to make sure that you're speaking the same language really helps. We sat at that pub, sipped on mezcal, and he let me play in character, and we talked. And we found what Danny's voice sounds like. We talked about what he's been through. We talked about why this is so important. And for a movie that talks so much about those that are unseen on so many different levels in the film, uh, he helped me discover how much Danny was one of those people. And I don't think I realized at first when I first read it. As for a person from the world that he's from, especially a person of color from the world that he's from, it can be really hard to break out of that trope, especially when people just don't see you as an artist because you look a certain way. He's tatted up, he has a certain tone to his speech that would lead people to believe he's of a certain uh, echelon, right? And he is so much more than what he's from. And I love that he has this sort of gentle peace with that. And I love that he is willing to challenge his partner at times when he doesn't feel seen by someone who should see him, right?
Mm.
If we're really partners in this, then you need to know what this is for me. And then I love that he acts despite that,
No, totally. Yeah, well, no, it's a great performance. Now, finishing off here, I just want to mention, of course, this film deals with addiction. There's a lot of addiction in it. For you guys yourselves, after shooting this film, what with the Hershey syrup used for blood and all the churros that you guys intake, did you guys have to deal with a sugar addiction after this film?
Every day.
Still
It's
on me, man.
it's uh, and we can laugh about it, but actually I have a serious sugar addiction, and
Really?
these two beautiful people here will attest to that. The day that I think EJ and I can attest, like with the day we filmed that car scene where Danny stays in the car and Emily
Oh,
goes into the bar.
Yeah.
We all were in different ways on sugar highs. They brought in a churro truck that day to
Yeah.
set. Britt was on so much syrup that like I think her head was throbbing.
She's on the
EJ and
syrup.
I
Jeez.
EJ and I were just literally just had
Huh.
eaten 2 churros, and I was like, I don't know if I can keep going.
Yeah, I was double fisting. I was like, you got both in the movie? You sure?
so
There's
good.
there's a run in that scene that you see me do, and after I watch it, I was like, oh, you're so full. You could run faster,
We're on a sugar high.
for sure.
I think
Yeah.
that was that
Yeah.
scene. We were on a sugar high.
Definitely. Well,
Yeah.
I think it really added to the scene and really brought the best performance out of you guys. I think that there should always be emergency churros for when you need to do a big hyped up scene. Definitely. Well, I
Yes.
want to thank you guys for talking with me today. Of course, In Our Blood opens theatrically on October 24th. Really enjoyed the film. Can't wait to see what the response is from people, and can't wait to see more from all of you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Andrew.
you, Andrew.
Really appreciate it.